So last couple days of prep. One thing, just in general, and this is especially true if you're going to keep studying for October or November, I would alternate between doing a timed 35-minute section one day and drilling in the demon the next day. So you're just going back and forth, right, between the two. For this week, in general, you're actually wanting to slow things down because it's not like you're going to learn a whole lot of new stuff. But so whatever you've been doing, maybe do less of it. I wouldn't do anything on Friday. I would probably watch a movie or Netflix on Friday night just to like take your mind off of things. Don't try to go to bed early. You might actually want to go to bed a little bit later than you normally do on Friday. That way you just conk out. Right? Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to go to bed early. I'm going to get lots of sleep tonight. Well, if you're not tired, you're going to sit in bed. And that's going to be like more stressful. So the other thing I would keep in mind, what was I going to say? Shoot, now I just forgot. Oh yeah, okay. So a lot of times people in the last week try to cram in a lot of stuff. Hopefully you don't do that now, given what we were just talking about, slowing down and stuff like that. But let's say you end up taking a practice test between now and the test, or you do 2 sections one day and 2 sections the next, and you don't get a high score, as you normally do, right? Your score drops a little bit. I get emails all the time, people panicking, like, should I not take the test? One test score is not indicative of where you're at. It's just something that happened. And the thing that I always say to them is, okay, how many questions did you get wrong in each section? And why did you get each of those questions wrong? Like, unpack what happened by looking at each individual question rather than generalizing. Like, generalizing is like, oh, I'm not ready for the test. Oh, I suck at the test. Oh, I suck at games. No, it's like, what happened to the specific questions that you got wrong that made you get them wrong? And the little lessons that you can glean from that, like maybe you went too fast, maybe you didn't know some logical rule. Like someone the other day, they realized that just because basketball players, tall people often perform better at basketball, they thought that was a correlation. But if you often perform better at basketball than shorter people, that actually is not a correlation. You guys know what word is missing from there? Tall people often perform better at basketball than shorter people.
Perform. Tend to.
Often, tend to are similar. Like often
Yeah.
is, a lot. It's more often. You need it to be more often than the other group, not just often, because if it happens often, well, it may more often happen in the other direction. So she didn't realize that that wasn't even a correlation. And it was a parallel reasoning question, and the original argument had a correlation, and this answer choice didn't have a correlation in that sentence. And it's like, okay, she gets that one wrong, but then she realizes this lesson, and that's a takeaway that she can now take into the September LSAT. So dig into any question you get wrong. Don't worry about the score. Focus more on the scores that you've been getting in the last few weeks, and just think about that's my average, and what can I learn from this? The reverse can happen. You can nail it. You can get a very high score and be like, oh, sweet, I'm ready. Well, again, just learn from your mistakes. Worry less about the score and more about what you can learn from each test. And when things go well, ask yourself, what did I do well this time? Why did I get these questions right that I would normally maybe get wrong? Right? Did I focus on slowing down? Did I focus on going quickly through things that are easy? I don't know. Like try to figure out what you did right, not just what you did wrong when things go poorly. Does that answer your question? But nothing on Friday. Yeah. And on Saturday, don't do anything different than what you usually do. Some people have a big breakfast because it's the big day. Some people run. Some people, I don't know, they just do something special because it's the day. No, just do everything you can as close to normal as possible. If you normally wake up at 7, wake up at 7. Don't be like, oh, today I'm going to wake up at 6. I'm going to do my Zen meditation. Then I'm going to be ready. No, now you're just like tired, right? Okay.
What do you recommend after the test?
Drinking. I don't know, why not? I don't have any right. At that point, it's like, just don't panic. Yeah, don't cancel. That's really the advice. Yeah. Okay, cool.